Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim flam sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Welcome, everybody. It is a glorious St. Patrick's Day, top of the morning to you. Now it's the afternoon, technically, but we don't really care about technicalities on the Lunchbox. Coming to you live today from beautiful Gulfstream Park. How are you on this St. Patty's Day, Jeff Defo?
I'm good. I'm a sore pig, as you might say. The horses at Beulah Park would be for the first race, a $2,500 claiming race for non-winners of one lifetime maidens. But yeah, I'm great. I mean, it is a beautiful day. We're a week in the Florida Derby.
No, we're not.
2 weeks?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's a March here.
Yeah.
2 weeks away from the Florida Derby, like I said. So you still have 2 weeks to get a bankroll together to plunge your brains out on what could be, I mean, just a stepping stone, a springboard to the classics for 410. Impressive there in the Fountain of Youth. But there's always new shooters, as people would say around the racetrack, and couldn't be any better. And great to be out here on a Friday.
Nice to be here, especially on a kind of a semi-holiday. It feels like a lot of people are maybe going to take the day off, play a little bit of hooky, maybe get out of work early right around this time. Could come on out here to Gulfstream Park. Kinds of celebrations going on. Number one, at the to our north here, that's right adjacent to the track. It's kind of a trendy place, and they're having all kinds of St. Patty's activities today. And you could, if you have the luck and the pluck of the Irish, by betting some early doubles or late pick
Irish
fours,
spreads would be big today on the turf, but you would have to look
Irish
for that.
spreads.
I mean, definitely a breeding angle could come into play. And you know what? It's a festive day, St. Patty's Day. It doesn't matter whether you're Irish or, whatever, you do in terms of your personal beliefs and or ethnicity. It's a lot of fun. It seems like people are out there. I don't know. Do they get drunk to an excess, Mike Mayo? I mean, is it time to rent a limousine if you're traveling around to various bars?
I think today is one of those days, along with New Year's Eve, where the prudent thing to do is to make sure you don't have keys or cars in your vicinity.
Yeah.
And if you're going to go out and get hammered, go drink to your heart's content, whether it's green beer or Jameson Irish whiskey or whatever you may enjoy. You could even do a green margarita, do a lime margarita.
I'm not a big green beer fan, even though it tastes exactly. I mean, it's food coloring, but I don't know. There's something that doesn't really do it for me.
No, it seems it reeks fakeness. But again, the point is, if you're going to be wherever, just make sure you have your transportation needs lined up. Download that Uber app, Lyft. There's cabs around. A lot of the bars and restaurants today are very mindful of, not letting patrons drink and drive because there's going to be a heavy police presence out there. And it's really just the prudent thing to do is just, either have a designated driver. I could be the designated driver today.
Oh, yeah, because, you're not drinking at all? Wow.
I am. I'm not going to be imbibing today.
How many more days of this baloney do you have?
I'm going to do about another month. I mean,
a month?
Technically, it could go through Easter. I kind of like this new lifestyle of, just kind of.
Maybe it's good to kick back. Yeah,
every
back a little bit.
Every 4 hours, which is kind of what I was finding myself
doing.
I don't
mind if I. Friday.
And we have Mike Lubie. Lubitz hopefully coming in to join us. He was behind the board there. It's not a green beer. What kind of beer do you have there, sir? Mike Lubitz. And here's to everybody.
Whatever they gave her for free at the
St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
He has. He doesn't have green wine. He doesn't have green beer.
This is their finest
on the show today. Green donuts, courtesy of the Press Box crew here at Gulfstream Park. Dave Joseph and all the great communications staff here. Somebody brought in a box of Krispy Kreme green donuts, and I hear
is the Krispy Kreme craze still as hot as it was?
They are famous.
Remember when you had to line up early in the morning to go there?
It used to be the big thing when Kreme would open. People would camp out. Vouchers for free donuts at the first 50 people, for free donuts every week for a year.
When you get them hot, though, man, they melt in your mouth.
Flashing neon sign that says "hot now." That used to be the siren call
That's
for the
It's like when the
gambling
bagels
gar-
come and
Yeah,
you drop them in
keep
the
them
bin and
fresh,
you're
yeah.
like, give me 2 of
Gentlemen,
those. Yeah.
I say we should each grab
Okay.
a green donut. Do a toast. Yeah, a whole one. Is that going to be trouble for you? You don't have to eat the whole
I don't
thing.
think I could eat
But
a
I
whole
think
Krispy
just
Kreme.
for
Plus,
the
they've been
sake
in the sun now
of
for a little
toasting,
Lachaim,
hot now again.
What
Kind
do
of
they
warms
say?
them up.
Yeah. Here's
Cheers.
Solange or whatever. Is that what they say?
Slanja.
Is that what they say? That's
I'm
what they.
gonna have
what
my
do we-
green donut.
You think
It's
a
green
green
inside.
flavor at all?
This thing, it kind of spooks me a little bit because you associate green dough with mold.
They don't put enough sugar in those Krispy Kreme donuts. Do you find that to be true?
Now, if I close my eyes and held my nose, like, would I be able to between this and a regular frosted?
I think no.
I would say no. I would say no to that.
You're supposed to not.
Yeah,
be,
I think the food
flavored.
coloring might have like weighed it down a little bit.
There's just something about it
Yeah,
that
it's a little different.
It's a weird
It's a little
consistency.
it seems a little gummy.
I would give you
And I don't know if my taste buds are making this up. It does have that little tinge of the artificial, kind of like
something phony about it.
The consistency is weird.
it
The
still
taste is
tastes
fine to
very
me.
sweet. You have artificial sugars like
Yeah, I hate that.
Equal or
Yep.
or Splenda that you taste that little kind of chemically
Yep.
of aftertaste. That's
Hate
what I
it.
get with the food coloring. Might be
Yeah.
making it up. Didn't
You
do
are.
it.
I'm in 100%.
I don't know what the
agreement with you.
taste, the consistency, jelliness.
It's regular Krispy Kreme donut.
But they tried. Thank you, Krispy Kreme, and
But
thank you,
not that
Gulfstream
far
Park,
off.
for supporting
Well,
our
thank
food
Mike Mayo for
and giving us
poaching
some green.
whatever free food was available, no matter how disgusting or uninviting it looks.
Well, it's called improvising because let's
You
give
want
the
to send
line,
our regards to
let's give the lineup. We're going to be doing a little different things today. Our usual Gulfstream Joe Beja, who's the director of food and beverage, and does just a fantastic running 10
amazing, yeah.
palms, and he's been just.
and I saw another winner go in, enjoy themselves, and post on Let's Eat
Oh
South
yeah,
Florida.
2 of them last Sunday. They both had high praise for the experience. Crew were doing a great job. Every week he's been coming down with great dishes, and I thought we were gonna maybe have a little St. Patty's celebration. Unfortunately, he had a little family emergency. He had to leave town, and we wish him and his
And if you
entire
watch the show,
family
we're thinking about you.
nothing but good cheer, good blessings, and hope everybody gets better soon. And we'll see you next
Gentleman. He's
Yeah,
a
Joe's-
gentleman's
no, Joe's
gentleman.
great.
Not
Joe
only that,
Beja.
he's dapper. The way he
Yeah,
comes
he's
down,
sharp. I don't know how he does it in
Yes,
this hot
the
sun here.
jacket.
He sits there in that chair, get that literally you could fry it, and
very dapper,
yeah.
very composed, a good guest. He explains everything well. And not only that, he has good taste because
Yeah.
he's run away
Yeah.
before.
He
a
knows the
couple of
South Florida
times.
food scene really
he
well.
loves tropical acres.
And he knows how to order. He knows
Yes,
what to
he
order and
does
how
know
to order.
how to
So,
order.
he's a guy I could see
Well,
how he got
you should
far in
teach a
this
course in that. You should have some adult education class that you're the professor in. That'd be great.
Speaking of the adult education, I
Yeah.
got one last night. I got to give props to Lubie.
Thank
People
you. How was
on the
the thing?
lunchbox we might not know, but Lubie, one of his gigs is he does trivia nights at a couple of local bars in town.
He
Regularly
also plays
scheduled.
the accordion at bar mitzvahs.
I
No, he's
would.
able
Wow.
Kind of manufacture a living. It's
Yes.
good. Well, his
Yeah,
wife
they've
is
been trivia
making
for a while.
hundreds of thousands of dollars that disappear into the universe somewhere.
It's tough
No
when you have
comment.
No yeah, that's right.
How come was that true in your marriage that what money was yours was hers, and what money was hers was hers?
We don't discuss the
No.
marriage
So
of
yes.
the Mayos.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. When does it go in?
Court
out there?
injunction this week to no longer
doesn't-
mention
it
her
doesn't-
name. Now everything. I think we're heading back to still
Good
not talking.
terms.
But anyway, can we get back to last night? I was singing his
Yes,
praises.
yes,
He
yes.
does Thursday nights at a place called
Landlubbers.
Landlubbers. It's in Sunrise. It's on.
In Plantation,
I'm sorry,
but it's on
Plantation,
Sunrise
on
Boulevard
Sunrise
and Plantation.
Right.
I'm sorry, Pine Island.
It's one of these kind of family-friendly but
Yes.
sports bars, and they have an $8.99 burger special on a Thursday night, and
Which
him-
you said was amazing.
it was a very, very good burger.
Oh, good.
Well, it's a
all right.
half pound. Like that's it's a
And
third pound
for
or a quarter
$8.99.
pound.
How much made at home? A quarter pound?
No, I okay.
He ate the whole thing at home. He's weird. He waits.
I did the trivia night with Sonny, who, as I said, was absolutely useless.
What
He was
was up with Sonny?
distracted.
I mean,
He
well,
just
He's
like,
watching all the games.
he was
you know
watching
him,
all the
like,
games,
He gets really into
and
it.
then this Lubie is asking questions. What I liked about the trivia was that it was both not just sports; it was
Everything.
music knowledge.
Science.
They give
Society.
questions that have different point values. Then they play a song that it
way
actually
you can be with
contains a
hints.
clue,
Yeah.
an
Okay.
answer, and then if you actually know the artist or the title of the song, you get bonus points. It's just really well run.
And we have fun. We have a
It's
good time.
well done.
Ken has a good
Ken
sense
is a
of humor.
sharp guy. He's a little bit sneaky. He's like the guys who make the SAT questions.
Yes.
Oh no, he's sharp.
Ken,
There's no
Devo
doubt.
did it once.
And
He
just
goes
shook his
way
head the whole
beyond
time.
me intellectually. You know, I mean, we know he's way ahead of us.
And every time there was a question or a song, I'd look over to Sonny. I said, "Sonny, do you know this?" He goes,
Oh, sorry, yeah, no.
and
Sorry,
There was
just-
probably women's junior varsity field hockey on some obscure channel that even Sufreen was having trouble
Greg
getting
Exactly.
up.
on
I have
you.
everything there.
you, Jim.
I
No,
love it.
I
a
love
lot.
Jim Sargent.
Unofficial producer
He's
and
just funny.
Sangali. But the point was, there's all these teams that have groups of 5,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
all
yeah.
huddling.
You're on your
I
own.
don't know if people are cheating and getting on their phones
They're
and
not
using
cheating. They're
their
actually
Google.
good about not cheating. Yeah, because people take it really seriously. So
People
if
will
you're cheating, then
cheat.
you can't get
Yeah,
excited.
that's been my
And
experience.
I
They will
finished
cheat.
mid-pack. I was proud because the final round is kind of like Jeopardy, where
Yeah.
they give you points,
It's a
5
degenerate
points for every correct answer, but they'll do 5 points if
You
you
get it
have
wrong.
an incorrect
Oh,
answer.
good. Okay.
So if you don't know the answer, leave
See
it
if you can
blank.
grab that stack of cash
And-
from that guy before we get started.
I like being
Wow.
here. Let's
Ended
not
up-
do that.
I went for it because I knew I was behind. It would be nice to know the standings so you know how.
Ken- That's the
Okay.
whole point. Is he's a degenerate. He wants you
Okay.
to go for
It's
it. And
kind
you
of
have
like
no
a
idea.
boxing match
I
where you don't know
swung
the
for the
scores.
fences.
That's it.
I was 6 for 6 on the
Yeah,
final
you killed it the
round
last round.
with all the maximum number of points.
And still
I
lost?
think it was
Yeah, you lost by
30,
like 20.
How
36.
buried were you earlier on?
I was
Lost by like
buried
20
early.
something. Yeah, yeah.
Well, let me ask you. Like, here's one of the
Give me a
questions.
question.
You know which the only mammal that does not have
Vocal
any
cords.
vocal cords?
Let's see. Yoko Ono.
And what was the song they
Is
played
that
as
it?
the hint?
I don't know.
What?
Just got
I have no idea.
She has
No,
too
you
many-
wish that.
has
vocal
too
cords.
many
Yeah,
vocal
yeah,
cords.
yeah.
She shrieks. And other people I wish didn't have vocal
Yeah,
cords
yeah,
include
Michael
Kevin
Bolton.
Harlan.
Yeah, a lot of them.
You-
Oh,
Did I
Kevin
mention how
Harlan.
much
He's
I
not
was
Kevin
screaming. It was like
He's-
2-0. He's like,
he's a-
can you believe that basket? Oh my!
is only he starts at volume. Where do you go from
There's
there?
nowhere
if
to
the
go.
You
game
know what?
gets really
That may
exciting?
just be his natural speaking
His
tone
voice.
and pace and cadence.
Yeah.
You think he
Yeah.
orders a pizza like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like screaming.
I had
Yeah.
a pepperoni straight in today. Unbelievable. The pizza spot. Oh, everything true about this place in my town.
Oh, and he just piled on a chicken parm hero on top.
You
of it.
know, you were in the sports thing. Which tournament cliche? I was trying to think of that today.
Well, it's
Your
the
favorite?
big dance.
He's a gym rat.
No, like like when you're watching the game
you're watching
and
the
they're
games,
referencing.
and there's a zillion cliches out there, but yeah, what would it be? I mean,
I don't know. All I know is that it's no longer March Madness because it bleeds into April.
Yeah.
April
And
acronym.
it's still good, man.
They just call it March
April-
Madness.
You know who came up with the
Us-
phrase March Madness?
Brent Musburger,
There
because
you
I
go.
watched your show and I
Oh,
heard
beautiful.
it, so that's good. Hey, we got, even though Joe unfortunately is not going to be here, and we're not going to be. I don't think
He may
maybe
bring
be
food 'cause he
sending
always
down. You
finds a
never
way.
know
I
with
could
him.
go for a hot dog.
He
today,
might
right?
have
Yeah,
one
that'd
of
be
his
nice.
staff bring down something, but we've got a lot of things going. Guys being out here and doing our usual contests, which we'll get to.
What kind of how difficult is the restaurant?
The Irish theme, and it's also a Defo of I'm going to be lighting a place that no longer exists, an Irish
Okay.
bar
I
in
think I
Fort
know the place.
Lauderdale.
Yeah.
We're going to get
absolutely
to
know
the
place.
clues in a minute. Don't blurt it out. Don't
I have a
give the
picture of
people.
me there.
And
believe it or not.
but besides the usual contest giveaway, we're going to phone in interview with our friend Jeffrey Allen Lemmerman, who you know as proprietor of Jeffrey Eats, the food truck
great place. Yeah.
that we had a
Great.
lunchbox show earlier when it was at a location in Pompano. Now
I struggle selling apple cider.
cider place is
Yeah,
gone,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Chef Jeffrey and his truck, when they started outside a brewery in Boca Raton, and going strong. It's a brewery where they're outside of,
Yeah.
and it got basically burgers are so good, and some of his other things are so good that it caught the attention of Guy Fieri and his producers, and they came in and they filmed some segments, and episode is going to be on. And without further ado, I think we have on the line right now
Oh, nice.
Chef Jeffrey from Jeffrey Eats. And we want to say, are you ready? Coming out, part of your star turn on food. Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives tonight.
Well, I'd like to think I'm ready. It's been so crazy lately that, no matter how much we've been over preparing, it seems like there's no end to the line that's these days.
Nice.
So we're doing our best, and hopefully we're just going to power through it like we always do,
Yep, that's what chefs do. I guess, besides being on tonight, the Sun Sentinel did a preview story about some of the local eateries that are featured on this season. And a couple of weeks ago was a restaurant that tonight there's two of them. One is up I like a lot. It's in Boynton Beach. I think it's called Butcher and the Bar. They do their own kind of cured meats, like a porchetta sandwich. But tonight is the night for Jeffrey Eats. Sentinel did a big preview story last Sunday has kind of started the spigot opening. Are you just prepared now for nonstop insanity? And what are you doing tonight? Is there a watch party there?
Yeah, we have a watch party amongst Boca. We have like a projector screen outside. I'm going to be playing the episode. Just subscribe to like a streaming channel that gets Live Food Network. So we'll be playing it outside there. And I know supporters coming out. We're going to get completely mobbed. So I'm looking forward to it. But we're closing the kitchen during the air. So me and all the boys that work so hard to get us here can just, take a second to enjoy it before we resume serving food.
Now, have you seen the episode yet? They don't send you a rough cut or anything? Is this going to be a surprise?
Yeah, no, they don't send me anything. I think, they want to make sure that they're the first people that play anything in the episode. Don't want anything getting leaked.
And
it's not like wine series.
No, it's going to be all
not
like
all
Dirty positive.
This is all. When you see Guy Fieri coming to your place,
that's
going to be a
yeah.
good thing.
Nothing but dollar
You see that
signs.
blonde hair and you see cash.
Okay, let me ask
Color
you.
is green. Yeah.
Let me ask you, because things we loved when we were with you at the former one of the former locations you used to be at, was your creativity, your originality, the fact that you tried different things, and even when we were making the Mayo face, it was turned into a face of joy because we enjoyed what it gave us. When you have something like this going on, do you go with something new or do you go with an old standby? What kind of food to make sure that Guy Fieri has a great experience?
Well, so basically how the show works is they ask for like 5 or 6 items that I think would be good.
Okay.
And I basically just kind of broke down my entire menu for them. They want like intricacies of every recipe, like listed out like a very formal recipe would be.
Wow.
So I basically did that for the entire menu, plus the burger that he actually chose to just be a specialty burger that wasn't a mainstay on my menu, and that was the one that he happened to choose. So get one item bigger.
Which one is that?
That is the gangbang.
They're probably not liking that on the floor.
That would have gone over well. Yeah.
So what did you change the name to make it PG?
Gangbuster.
Oh, it's
Barnyard.
Barnyard.
Okay.
And when he chose the gang, the BBC cheesecake, I thought they were.
Oh no,
I
that's
thought
great.
they were pretzels when I was.
Theo may not understand what that means, but that's funny.
Oh my goodness. So what is the cheesecake? Because I never had it. I always get too stuck on the burgers, and the
chicken
fries
sandwiches,
before
fries.
I get to the desserts there. So that's being spotlighted, right?
Yeah, so we basically make these cheesecake in mason jars, and I put them through a canning process to cook them and set it with the eggs. And he picked the brownie batter cheesecake, so that was on the show. But we had flavors at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I made sure that I said brownie batter cheesecake in the time that I mentioned it on the show. So that was the one featured, and he just saw a lot of and wanted, said that I was doing it commercially, and he would like to see them grow.
Oh wow!
So a piece of advice he gave to me was to figure out shipping for them. So that's what I did, and we actually just launched today our cheesecake 4-pack for anyone in the country.
So
congrats!
That's great. That's
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? It's great because I'm a big Guy Fieri fan, and he makes you feel good about places. He really does. A couple of places, I've gone to cities where I'm trying to think of what was the place that Fieri talked about.
Yeah.
I want to go there because he comes off as just a really good, positive individual. I mean, what was it like to deal with him?
Oh, I thought he was awesome. He's obviously very good at his job, so he knows how to make anyone that's involved with the show feel comfortable, get a laugh out of you, and tease the fact that you're standing next to the superstar while you're filming on national television for the first time. Being someone that actually comes from camera, even I was a little out of my element because I'm standing next to him, and I'm so used to breaking the fourth wall by looking at the camera, filming my content. I had to get out of it. I got yelled at a couple times because I kept looking at the camera.
They don't like that. They don't like.
Yeah, what do you think you're, Marv Albert? What the hell?
Now, your social media, that's noticed and recognized, right? And how do people, if they want to find you on Instagram or TikTok, how do they find you, Jeff?
My handle on every social media platform, one word.
Yep.
And you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or sign up for our email subscription on chefforeats.com.
And again, Cheffery is with a CH at the beginning, a play on your first name, Jeffrey, a very clever name. Right. So, you were nice enough to invite me out to Wyoming Days where regular people.
Oh, nice.
But it was one of those things where they got a little bit behind schedule, and then the sun was going down, and they ended up wrapping shooting. And I really didn't get to see the whole experience because the reshoot day I could not make it. But I want to thank you for inviting me out and considering one of the people that was be a supporter of your work. And I still, how I feel is that you do all these amazingly creative things well, but I'm kind of a burger traditionalist and minimalist, and for my money, you still make one of the best burger, basic, just straight up cheeseburgers.
Right.
But I know for the show business and all that, you have to, display some of those other things. But my is now that you're shifting to this kind of national branding and shipping and cheesecakes, are you, you still gonna have?
Are we gonna lose the?
Are we gonna lose the burgers, or
are
we gonna gain a cheese?
I think the food truck's going to become a Madden Cruiser pretty soon. If you're in the country, that'd be great.
Ideally, I can step away from the food truck. Not to say that it's where, but I have a great staff that certainly doesn't need my help when it comes to running things. And my hope is to transition Cheffery into like an employee-owned company, so that it can the life of its own without me having to babysit. And then I could focus on scaling the cheesecakes and kind of having two things working. And I just want my business to be able to take care of those that help me take care of my own.
Now
that's my hope for it.
On the heels of this, are you going to maybe expand the trucks and have more burgers available in more places, or like at this point just kind of focus on the desserts?
Yeah, right now I'm just focusing on the desserts, but when this to expanding Cheffery locations, I think the next move would be to open a brick and mortar, ideally just closer to home. I live over in Lake Worth on the west side, soon to be known. So I'd like to open up over there and just kind of be closer to the family and just focus on them, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Maintain relations with Guy, because I know some other chefs that have been spotlighted locally, like he's come back, or he's put them on the Grocery Game show, or he likes that, and now that he lives here in Lake Worth, can you hit him up to become one of your backers for a brick and mortar?
Yeah, I wish, man. He does that a lot. He does it for a lot of people, especially his close friends. I know he's helped friend Vanilla Ice open like a speakeasy, and man, he does so many things at one time. I don't know how he has time for it all, but man, I wanted to just be like, hey, Guy, do you want to be my shark for these cheesecakes? Like, I wanted to, but I already knew the answer without asking, is how busy of a man he is, how many things that he's promoting. I just can't see him putting too much more on his plate.
Oh, sorry. We got somebody who's trying to mess around with our setup here. So it's always an adventure at Gulfstream Park. Did he unplug us?
He didn't unplug.
Okay, we're good. Okay.
Plugging on yourself.
These remotes are always fraught with danger. It's all good. So anyway, we're here at Gulfstream Park. We're talking with Chef Jeffrey on the Lunchbox. It's St. Are you doing anything, besides being featured?
How about the cabbage burger?
What would you do for St. Patrick's Day?
Are you doing anything for St.
Chef
Patrick's?
is going to put together a St. Patty's Day special.
Oh, no, nothing like that up on our plate. Nowadays, I'm just trying to focus on just doing less and streamlining and getting ready for the influx that is going to come after this episode. We're already feeling it, and we stopped doing like our pairings. We just did a bacon pairing last Sunday, and I think that's the last we do for a while. We used to do these beer dinners like the other month or so. It's just getting to the point where we're just like struggling to keep up with the day. And then when you're at that point and you still have a beer dinner to prep, you're like, oh God,
Yeah.
you know, it gets to be a lot. And then I end up sacrificing what would be a day off with my family just to do like more work. And I'm trying to find, you know, as I'm sure you know, a lot of chefs with balancing that home life,
Work-life balance.
work
Yeah,
life.
you got young kids, right? So it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's 3 years old. She's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
handful.
wow.
So
I
now,
didn't lose
tonight,
my wife.
tonight's
Later on.
watch party. Yeah. Tonight's watch party, is it open to the public or is it?
Absolutely, yeah. The more the merrier. It's limited seating, so definitely get there as soon as you can. We'll have the projector in the parking lot.
Oh, cool.
Even be able to, you know, have some tailgates set up if people wanted to come, bring their folding chairs and just kind of hang out in the parking lot, go grab a beer, grab a bite, and just enjoy the show inside or outside. We'll have it playing all over.
Got anything more for the chef?
No. Good luck with that. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the show.
Well, we
I've
may have to
seen you-
stop by before
teasing,
you
yeah.
blow up. I mean,
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is,
After today.
and again, it's Chef is outside.
Really great
Brewing.
food too.
No,
I
it's
mean,
great.
You know,
He does a
it
great
was,
job.
still a lasting memory when we were out there at the cider place where he was working.
And now I've been to Barrel Raton. It's on Rogers Circle. You kind of get off at Yamato Road, I think, and then you do Military, and then there's Jeep. Type
You'll
in.
find- he's gonna.
The
Jeffrey's.
aroma will guide you in.
Yes.
I mean, for the last mile or so, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
we're
Yeah.
definitely kind of a hidden gem. We're in an industrial park. It's hard
Yeah.
to find. It's just west of Congress. On,
Congress, yeah.
on
Click
so
more.
All right, well,
hard to
let's-
find, but we do it.
Well, good luck, man.
Learn how to deal with the groupies and
Yeah, exactly.
you know, the hangers-on that are going to be following.
Mayo
after
can help
this.
you with that.
Yeah.
One last question. I always like the volume. I like to know the volume. Like on a typical Saturday before word got out that you're going to be on, how many burgers would you sell on the truck? And now how many are you preparing for, let's say, tomorrow and the following?
It's hard to say because March is that like busiest
Season.
month.
Right.
So it's a mix of like our busiest time and what we're seeing from the exposure. But let's just say like last Saturday night, I had maybe 40 pounds, of burgers made. And in the middle of the dinner rush, we had to send one of my guys over to Publix to go get
More
more.
meat.
Oh, wow.
More
40
meat.
to 50
Yeah.
pounds.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, good for you.
So,
It was nonstop. It was the most
so
insane.
you might be
shit
selling
I had.
hundreds
Hundreds
and
of
hundreds of burgers. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You've been kind enough to, grace us with a
Jeffrey.
few. I know today is going to be hectic, but it's a special day.
Oh, no.
A big
It's
day.
always a pleasure to hear from you guys. I'm always happy to
We
work with
appreciate
you.
it.
All
All
right,
right,
Jeff.
sounds good.
Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you up there soon if we can get in. But yeah,
That's a
Yeah,
big
you're
thing,
good.
man. That's going to be great for him. I mean, really, I think, and I remember going to that cider place where he was located near the Harris Casino, and I always was tempted to stop back in there, but usually was broke when I was going by.
it's always best to go before
Yeah.
you. hit the
But I mean,
casino.
I'm needing
Definitely
that,
have money.
I definitely want some consolation food after the bludgeonings, and it was weird because you're thinking that as scientific as that cider guy was when he explained his position to us when we did the show out there. When do you ever leave the house thinking, you know what I need? I need a good, well cider
Now,
with
now.
no alcoholic
Be-
content.
be
No, but
nice.
I mean, it's a shame because the guy was really great at what he did. Is
Was
there
cider. There
Yeah.
was all kinds of different fruits, and it was a different experience. And I guess
It was great. I mean, I'm not complaining about the guy's quality, and his whole scientific approach was amazing. He had come from some engineering background or something, and was a real intellectual.
No, it was just,
sophistic-
people sometimes people.
where do
have-
you go from there, though? If you invested a lot of money, thing, I mean,
that whole setup there. Maybe he'll scale it down.
food court at Harris in
I don't
Atlantic
know.
City. I mean,
But we want to focus on the positive today because you know me, I'm Mr. Positive. And I'm just so happy about Jeffrey's success and everybody out there to the brewery tonight. Go, watch it, DVR it online. on your Food Network devices because they will be showing that show tonight. I believe it's at 9 o'clock.
I like it that you've turned into Mr. Positive.
Yeah, no, you're like
What
hopping on the cider.
I'm
it's
just asking
gone,
a
and
question.
who's
See, you
drinking
interpret a
cider.
lot of things as being overwhelmingly negative, but the fact is, as good as this guy was, he might have been the best at what he did.
Well, it was
There was
like the guys who thought
Yeah.
highlight was going to be the next big sport, and they just put tens of $millions
I think
or
a
whatever.
couple of
it
those
was.
guys got whacked.
It didn't turn out the way that they, when you can't pay
Some
the
of the
juice,
investors in New York were not
it's
happy
tough.
about the condition of the game.
Meanwhile, we got a lot of.
What about
business
this
to-
contest?
Hold
Are
on,
we
we
gonna
got
run
a
that?
lot of. We're going to be joined in the next after the first breaks by somebody from the Gulfstream handicapping squad,
Good.
either
We need
Ron
some help.
Nicoletti, an old friend, Samantha Perry, who's was on the show earlier in the meet, and we always
She
love
does a
being
very good
graced with
job,
her.
this young
Yeah.
lady. She really does.
And but first, like you said, we've got a contest underway.
Let's get it rolling,
So
man.
guess
Come
what
on.
the theme is, considering today is St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be an Irish bar.
Yeah,
So-
okay. I think I already know.
Let's not. We're not going to blurt it out.
Of course, I'm not going to blurt it out, Mike. Man, I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, but you blurted it out like 2 times. already.
The bubble room thing was, that was a gimme after you gave the second clue.
All right, here we go. And you know how the contest works by now. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you. Basically, an answer to today's trivia questions. I'm going to be giving a series of clues. And then once you have that, then you also have to give me the week's featured contest race at Gulfstream on tomorrow's March 18th, Saturday. This week's featured race for contest purposes is the $100,000 Silks Run Stakes 11th race tomorrow. That's about 5:30. Race 11, and it's numbers 1 through 12. Full field of 12 going in tomorrow's
That's going to make
contest
it
race.
tough. I hope
It
the
makes it
restaurant's a
tough.
gimme. Yeah, I think it is.
It is a wide open affair.
Yeah.
Again, another one of those turf sprints, which are tricky. Last week had over 60 entries, and it was an 8-to-1 shot trained by a restaurateur, Carlo Vaccarazza.
And there still was no
8 to
isolated
1.
ticket. Yeah.
There were only three winners of the correct
That's
course.
big. 3 people hitting an
Yeah.
8-to-1 shot in that race.
And that was nice because I didn't have to draw up little slips of paper with 20 different names.
Well, you say only 3. See, you're looking at it from a different perspective. I think 3 people hitting the restaurant, an 8-to-1 shot in the Saturday feature at Gulfstream off of Let's Eat South Florida, and the viewers of the show, I did that. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, no, it's impressive. I'm saying it was less work for me, so I was enjoying it.
You're
And
only
it's all
thinking of
about
yourself.
less.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a selfish prick. I just want as least work as possible.
Yeah.
And again, when it's a 20-way tiebreaker,
No, these contests can be a little bit.
And one other note,
Yeah.
again, I'm going to be taking a weekend and have a little spring
Where
break
you
time
going?
with my daughter.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
I don't know yet. We're going to do a mystery trip on Sunday night, Monday. No show on Monday, so we will be drawing the tiebreakers and announcing the contest winner on Tuesday's next Tuesday. And you know what to do. Once you get the name of the restaurant and the winning, and give me a number between 1 and 12 to the winning name or number of the horse in tomorrow's 11th race, Silks Run Stakes. You send those 2 components to MikeMayoEats@gmail. That's my email, MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by tomorrow, Saturday, March 18th, 2023. If it comes in at 12:01, you're not in there. It's 12 o'clock hard. I am
hardcore
tired
about the deadline.
All right,
For sure.
you ready? We're going to give away.
Ready to
We're
go.
going to have our first clue, and then we're going to do some business, and then we'll be talking some more with somebody about horses. The clues. This long time, and this is in honor of you, Defo, because we're talking about
I'm going to show you a picture during a break, and you're going to pop it. Yeah.
Okay, it's the Ghosts of Ireland. It's a long-time Irish mainstay that was on North Andrews Avenue in Fort Lauderdale, and it served its last and harp in January of 2017 after the father-son owners Jim and James Gregory decided to sell to a development group. A success story for them, but a loss for us. The pub was born in the 1960s, changed ownership a few times, and ended up a Fort Lauderdale institution, very popular with lawyers, prosecutors, judges, cops, politicians, journalists, and tourists.
Yeah.
So again, it was a mainstay Irish pub, Andrews Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, that closed. It's hard to believe that it's
been a while, yeah.
and the property remains vacant 6 years later.
Wow.
So it's still waiting for its its redevelopment. And
I guess they're not a cash when they paid
no,
off the
they're
owner.
not. It's Tim
Yeah.
Petrillo, who we know from the restaurant people,
Oh, okay. All right.
and some of his
they're
other.
fine, yeah.
They're sitting and waiting on it they've got plans, but right now it hasn't. So anyway, that is clue number one. You say you know it. right
Oh
off the
no,
bat.
yeah, it's an automatic.
Okay.
And you know what's weird?
Well,
There are a lot of Irish bars in the area. Fort Lauderdale. I mean, I would say a pretty significant proliferation of Irish-oriented places
Yes.
in that area. But this was the standard that everybody would think of right away.
Yep. It's we'll have more clues, and I do want to say, again, St. Patty's Day tonight. We show with Pat Utter and Shenanigans, and tonight he's going to
that
have
was
all
great.
his corned
Yeah.
beef sandwiches and platters and the shepherd's pie. So you might want to check out Shenanigans at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania. The other place you might the Tropical Acres is a restaurant that knows how to have a fine time during holidays.
They
and
doing a
I don't know if Jack
you think he might?
Studiali,
Yeah.
I don't know if they have any kind of Irish or St. Patty's or specials,
He doesn't need to go. Get
but
it, though.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
you could get yourself a nice half-price Jameson's in the bar during happy hour, which it even goes during Friday nights.
I would prefer his prime rib on
Yeah.
the rare side to any cabbage dish that you could put in front of
That-
him. No, might be.
No, and they don't have cabbage. They do have the green cream spinach there, so you could get your luck of the green at
and the corned beef, of
Tropical
course. Yeah.
Acres. So we've got Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road. You love it. Half price wine night Mondays and Tuesdays. Half price in the bar every weeknight from 4:30. And of course, they've got the loyalty punch card where if you get 12 punches for every entree that you purchase, you get the 13th one for free.
Have you ever tried to redeem two of those at once?
Yes, they allow that.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Actually, I don't know if they allow it. I've never tried to do
Yeah, like
that.
24 punches.
It might say one per visit,
Oh, nice.
$35 cap,
All right.
which still a nice piece of filet mignon.
You might have to
prime
put a
rib.
disclaimer on there.
We love the Studiali family. Is old school hospitality, serves value, quality. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, more from Gulfstream Park. I believe. Yes, I believe we have people
we
in the
got
crowd
Ron
here.
Nicoletti.
Oh,
here.
Ron Nicoletti,
Ron
man.
Nicoletti. We're gonna give
Nicoletti
Lubie the
ends
boot.
up bringing
Yeah,
an
we'll have him
entourage.
join in.
Unbelievable. Ronnie boy, how
Ron
are you, my friend?
Nicoletti. We're gonna get him on camera. He's used to
The
be.
last show I did with Nicoletti was a Coconut Grove bed race in 1985, I believe, on Sunshine Network. Yeah. Still a lot of fun.
All good. All right. Well, we'll get Ronnie wired up, and we'll be back after these words on the Lunchbox. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and daily fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Yes, we heard, and much. Well, we're back on the Lunchbox, and
Wow, lo and
just
behold.
in time. It is perfectly timed. Joe
Wow.
Beja couldn't be here with us this week. He sent his regards, his
Even
crew,
the carrots looked. Did they get that backstretch?
and the corned
Wow.
beef and cabbage. And now we've got all kinds of action going on. He's getting bets in for the first race at the window. I'm
I
getting
used a
bets in
7.
on my phone, and we're talking. We're going to be talking horses, handicapping, food with Gulfstream's own longtime handicapper, Ron Nicoletti. Ron Nicoletti, welcome to the Lunchbox.
I am pleasure to be here, guys. And I bet the 9 here in the first race, my long
Oh, you
shot
did?
of the day.
Okay.
Yeah, just to see if I can get a bit of a shot on to start the day. But it's hard to beat the favorite.
I'm going to drag you down because I just punched in a box of the favorite, and then I didn't box. So we'll see what
His
happens.
favorite taste is milk and magnesia. He
No,
doesn't- no,
I
he
like
doesn't like
mixing it
chalk.
up.
No, Mayo's good.
I
Mayo's
like
a pretty good
mixing it
handicapper.
up.
Yeah,
but
I gotta give
I've
it to him.
learned sometimes you got to use the
Yeah.
chalk.
There's
But-
rumors around, but you're like a mush. But
Yeah.
I am the mush. Hey, talking about mush, we got these mushy green donuts that we
You got to
we're
shove
gonna have
those
to,
out of
like,
the way.
Get that out of here.
Easy food you got
Hopefully
to
they
have
knock
rest
us
box.
off
Here, look
the
at
air.
this.
We've
Got
got
10 palms.
Ron Nicoletti. We've got corned beef and cabbage.
This looks
We
great.
are celebrating St. Patrick's Day here at Gulfstream Park, and you can too. And Ron, we do this contest. I'm going to give the second clue because what we do is 2 Sunday brunch vouchers to 10 Palms right above us. People who end up winning the contest, they can come on out on a Sunday of their choosing, and they enjoy a free Sunday brunch buffet, 1 mimosa, tax and tip included, but of course they tip a little bit more. And what we do is we have people pick the winner of tomorrow's feature race. For our purposes is going to be the Silks Run Stakes. There's going to be a field of 12 going 5 furlongs on the turf. Do you have any opinions? Have you looked at that race yet? The field of 12.
I have looked at that race, and I think that the number, right here.
Let's
Let
see,
me
there
know
you
it's on the front page.
Oh, there
here.
you go.
Yeah.
You got the front.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that Caratori is going to sit the trip in there once again with Irad. I just think this he's sitting on a top performance, going to try and close from off the pace and win it.
Okay. For
What
all
number is that?
number 2, that's
Deuce.
the 2 ball.
That's a
And a
Nicoletti
12
special.
horse Nicoletti special. And again,
Comes with 2 meatballs and
for all you Let's Eat South viewers, South Florida Live viewers who might not know he is a expert handicapper, and the Caratori, I can't.
carrot.
What?
Eat a
Carrot.
carrot.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll call it the carrot
Carrots
horse.
are delicious.
Ridden
by the way.
by
Yeah.
the nation's leading rider, Irad Ortiz Jr., Brian Haynes. Defo is going to be distracted
I'm gonna
now.
have to
Tell me
turn
how
around
it
and watch
turns
this
out.
race. I'll let you know.
But again, he likes the 2 horse. I don't know. I always like going for the food angle tomorrow. I also like Yes I Am Free. That was looked
9
pretty
is up
good
there, by the way.
in his last
Yeah.
race. That's the 6. So
Thought he'd be on the pace.
Nicoletti is going with the 2. I'm going to give out next week for this week's contest the 6 horse. So those who want to follow me, and if you want a food angle, I don't. Usually I like to give a food angle. Belgrano. It seems like it's a city in Italy, or there's some sort of cheese brand that might.
Reach in
Belgrano.
there.
It is a little bit of a reach, but those who like the food angle go with Belgrano, the 5, and who want anybody with the St. Patty's Luck of the Irish angle, number 3 lucky score. All right, that's number 12.
He's
Everybody's
right there,
looking at
He's
the
right there with
races.
his
Yeah, we're looking at the race here because
Okay,
I got
It's
my
me and Ron.
We
down,
all have
to the
vested
backstretch.
interests. This is.
Yep.
I'll give the second clue now because the contest is besides coming up with the winner of
Here comes the
tomorrow's
favorite.
Silks
Maybe
Run
screw
Stakes.
this up. Yeah.
We're going to be also talking about you got to give the winning restaurant clues, and then when you give me the restaurant along with the winning horse number, send it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com at noon tomorrow. And again, we're going to Ireland, and it's actually a Irish pub that no longer exists in Fort Lauderdale that closed in January 2017. What happened before? Have they hit
I'm getting
Uh,
those out.
What's the?
Oh, I don't know.
It was close between the
What's the-
7 and 8.
I think the
9 died out.
I'm a chalk eating. You know, I did a 7-8, so I'm gonna win probably like 20 cents on the race, but that's
I hope
okay.
DA didn't get up. It was close, but I think he might have
It's
bobbed.
better to win something than lose everything. That's my motto.
Oh
so,
gosh!
All right. So
Now
the
I gotta
first
eat to
clue,
console myself.
long mainstay on Andrews Avenue in Fort Lauderdale, closed in 2017 after the father-son ownership decided to sell to developers. It's been a Fort Lauderdale institution
Ronnie,
for
you're dining?
decades. Popular with lawyers, judges, cops, politicians, journalists, locals, and tourists. Okay. Clue number 2, known for its potato soup and shepherd's pie. It is a positive Sun Sentinel restaurant review in 2001 called it more than just a bar with entertainment. It also has a fine selection of pub food, and most of it is very good. Do you know this place?
I think I do.
You probably have been there.
Yes.
All right. So we'll save the last clues for later.
And he likes the 2-ball in the feature tomorrow.
He likes the 2. Ron Nicoletti, as tickets go flying away. No, it's actually
get involved here,
napkins.
Mike. Now the corned beef's
We
outstanding.
got corned beef that looks very nice and juicy. We've got a little piece of cabbage and potato. You know, here's the thing that I learned. Did you know this, Ron Nicoletti?
No.
Corned beef and cabbage is not an Irish dish. It's an Irish-American dish.
Really?
And it was adopted. Now, this was from several people in the Let's Eat South Florida food group. I did not verify this yet, but it sounds legit from several other people who are in the restaurant business, verified it, that actually a immigrant dish that a lot of the Irish started eating and cooking because the neighborhoods were close to, a lot of the Jewish
The
neighbors.
stuff, the knowledge he has.
Yeah.
It's
So,
incredible.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm watching you eat. I'm
And
doing
what
it,
about
so
this
don't-
photo, Ron? Never mind
yeah,
Mayo eating.
let's-
I mean, we've seen that a million times.
8-7 came.
Oh, okay. I got Bob.
But there's an inquiry and an objection.
Chalk City. All
Oh,
right.
yeah? Against what?
So we
I
got
don't
our
know,
nice
you can
boiled
see it.
potatoes. The corned beef is excellent here. I assume that they're going to be in this as a special at
That
the
was
10
great.
Palms.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk turkey and corned beef. Ron, I've known you a long time, and I've eaten some meals with you. What do you like eating around? And what's on your hit list now that you go to and enjoy regularly?
Well, I got my regular joints that I always go to. I'm in United at Christine Lee's.
That I
I'm
know.
like
Oh, yeah.
part of the furniture in there right now.
They actually have a plaque with his
Yeah.
name, and you can't sit in his seat.
What's your
Again, I
go-to?
say-
What's your go-to item?
My go-to, I got a couple of things, and I keep changing all the time. I knew, and believe it or not, besides all the great Chinese food, is I order French fries. Just after races, I order French fries with sauce from stone crabs, mustard. So here's my
Wow.
theory.
Okay.
So instead of buying stone crabs, which are very expensive,
Yes.
you buy French fries, you dunk it in the sauce. It's exactly the same to me. So this is my
Really
new recipe.
innovative, man.
So now, if you go to Christine Lee's every night, and I'm not saying buy this all eat on a lot of people's tables, it's sort of caught on as like thing. We come in on 12 people, we walk in and say, give us 3 orders of French fries with the sauce. Everybody's dipping in, and I like the people that try it the first time. They go, this is good.
It's a way of saving a little bit of cabbage, so to speak.
Yeah.
And of course, our Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market will say that's not a good idea. That is similar between the sweet meat of a crustacean from the Florida Bay or the Gulf of Mexico
And a French fry.
and a
Yeah.
French fry,
Yeah.
a spud,
Now,
a
they
lowly
have
spud.
they have the most fantastic food. And Chinese steak and vegetables
Oh,
is just
yeah.
out of the world. There's just, you can go on and on, but
Defo's a fan of their chicken wings.
I do like their wings.
I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of honey glazed spare ribs. I think they make the best rack of spare ribs, Chinese style honey glazed spare ribs in town. And
what their
Mary
best-
does a great job.
what their best secret thing is another thing.
Lamb chops.
Yeah, lamb chops are good, but besides all of this, I
No,
don't know if you
you
tried this chicken franchise.
Are you kidding me?
Their chicken
Wow.
franchise is the best chicken franchise you will ever have over pasta. You get such a large order; it is fantastic.
Now that sounds bizarre to me.
That
I've never
sounds like
tried it.
he's ordering wrong. You eat them.
Well, the thing is, they do everything well there. Because my hidden gem there was the lamb chops.
Right.
It was gone for a while during the pandemic,
back
but
now,
she's
yeah.
back. They
Yeah.
have them back. I talked to Mary, Christine Lee's, which is adjacent to Gulfstream Park. And after the races, after you're done spending the day at 10 Palms, you go in there, have yourself a nice little cocktail. They do a nice job. It's Chinese, and it's not like May's Kitchen. It's
May's Kitchen, for what it is. I mean, it doesn't appear to be much.
Yeah,
It's
You're gonna
well
make me try
respected.
some of
It's
this
well
potato.
respected in the food.
corned beef is pretty good.
Corned beef is great. Yeah, this is fantastic.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about, I have a little difference of opinion. That you've been to Chinese Runway 84?
Yes, I have been.
And your opinion is
The food is fine, and I mean it's the most important part. But I like the ambience of the former place where I can walk in and you see all the guys. Hey, how you doing? Kiss each other on the cheeks and all that good stuff. Now it's more upscale. There's like 47 maitre d's around the place. Every time you turn around, somebody's grabbing your seat or something like that, and I'll get used to it. But I just been that kind of guy that's been going there for
right.
Let me tell you a quick story.
Change is always hard.
A quick story. Just going back, I don't know how many years, but Anthony, who owns the place, his father owned it.
Right.
And we saw this thing in the paper: buy one meal, you get a free meal right at this state 84. So we said, oh, it's one of those airplane places.
Yeah.
We'll get hamburgers and some. We go in and broccoli rabe on the menu. This is South Florida. So there's no broccoli rabe in the menu. It's South Florida. 30 years ago. So that's how I became a fan. He even ran the place.
Yeah, and he took it over from his dad, and now after 40 years, they decided it was time for a little refurbishment. I went in there to visit my first meal in the dining room with a friend this past week. I love the food. I think they're killing it. The execution of the food. Yeah, they've gone upscale. But the quality to me, it justifies pricing. It's an experience. I guess now, because of what they're going for, it's become a real scene. And you know how it is. Everybody loves the shiny new toy in South Florida. Eventually, it's going to die down in the summertime, and then you could go back in and maybe a little bit of a vibe of the older days. But I do like what they did to the train. Defo, you still haven't been in there, right?
No, have not made an appearance there yet.
I guess you have to hit a trifecta or something before.
You know what? It didn't sound like the thing increased that much in price. So that was good. I mean, you were talking about a $34 entree that you liked, so. But I when I go into a place like that, I'm expecting, that I'm going to be paying a pretty good nut.
Yeah, the food, like I said in the beginning, the food is excellent. It's the same. It's just a different kind of place for me and everything. I've watched the Super Bowl for the last 25 years.
Wow.
So that's where we go every Super Bowl place. And
if you had Princeton yesterday, you could go in there and get an appetizer.
I got the canes.
So you went in for this year's Super Bowl, and it just opened, so it just must have been a complete.
Well, what they did is they put a big screen in the patio part that's now closed in. That's where they did it. It was fun,
You'll get back
and then I got to give a shout out to my favorite place where I go with my family every time we can get together, and that's the Southport Sea.
Southport Raw Bar.
Raw Bar. Just
Buddy is great.
Best oysters. You go there and they love it. So that's why we go there.
Yeah, no, they, Buddy, we know has been a supporter of the Lunchbox in the past, and I love this time of year. You go, they're also every place I know is just loaded with spring breakers and locals, and all the relatives visiting.
Bring all these hot young girls on.
It's
absolutely
really incredible. This weekend, I think.
Let's hope they like racing, or say, hey, why don't we go to the track?
As Chef Jeffrey was saying, this is always March is always the heaviest of the year for restaurants, and now
perfect segue into your Lauderdale by the Sea thing.
The Lauderdale by the Sea.
I mean, not Lauderdale by the Sea. I mean,
the Visit Lauderdale.
Yes,
you're keeping it.
I mean, I know the second race is coming up. Plus,
you're like a jockey.
I have to get in on the early Aqueduct pick 5.
That's good. Oh, he's getting very jittery. He's breaking into a sweat. He's like, okay, so talking about all kinds of restaurants around town. Ron Nicoletti, longtime handicapper here at all the racetracks in South Florida. He's gotten around, and you're going to want to get around because that's what Visit Lauderdale is all about. Visit Lauderdale, everything under the sun, every dish under the sun. We spotlight all these restaurants with Neki Mohan every couple of weeks. We were in a great place this past week, El Guanaco. I don't know, like a small little hole in the wall up in Oakland Park. El Guanaco. That's the proper. Well, I used to say
he's riding in the 4th. He's on the 2.
I used to say El Guanaco, and I got mocked by Neki Mohan saying, "Oh, gringo." So El Guanaco, it's a Mexican / Salvadoran restaurant. We were there this past week. It's one of more than 4,000 area restaurants. So much diversity here. More than 70 different cuisines in the greater Fort Lauderdale area, and you're going to want to avail yourselves of that, or check out the libation scene in town. We've got craft breweries, the Visit Lauderdale Ale Trap, the hidden speakeasies, the rooftop bars, and of course all the great places which give yourself plenty of time to drive this week because it's a little bit crowded there. But, boy, the scenery is good. Visit Lauderdale.com is the place you're going to go to check out all the latest materials, events, promotions. Next month, we've got the Tortuga Festival coming up. So, again, anybody you know, tell them to come on down. Greater Fort Lauderdale. Visit Lauderdale.com. This is the place for you.
All right, we're going to come back, wrap up this edition of Lunchbox from Gulfstream Park. Ronnie, thank you much for stopping by.
My pleasure,
Always a
guys.
pleasure.
Always fun.
Always a pleasure. And I guess we have the last contest clue also. So
We'll do that
get
after
to
the
you
break.
in just a
Ronnie
moment.
can stick around, too. We're not giving him the boot unless he's got
I got to work.
Oh, he's got things to do. He's got real work to
You
do.
lost track of time there, Mayo. Yeah, it's food in front of you.
Happens.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent.
We're back on the Lunchbox. We're going to wrap up another brilliant week here on the Lunchbox.
Good
We're at
times.
Gulfstream. One more piece of week. Next Thursday, we'll be out at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market for our monthly remote. We're going to be having some crab cakes with the seafood manager, Jose Sanchez. He's a great guy. We're going to be gas over a holiday with Defoe's favorite, house-made gefilte fish.
I'm a scratch on that.
Yeah, and be getting ready for Easter and probably talking about their offerings there at Delaware Chicken Farm and Sea Market. They've got a full range of pretty much anything you want. They've lamb for Easter. They've got all kinds of brisket and fish for Passover. Day of the week, any occasion, you go in there and you get, of course, the great seafood, fish, stone crab, any size, Key West pink shrimp, clams, oysters. They've got it all.
Yep.
The freshest and most value-conscious seafood and poultry and meats. It's at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, right across from the old Seminole Bingo Parlor, and family-owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. You go in there. We'll be there next Thursday. Out, open 7 days, curbside delivery at chicken.com for all the latest specials and daily offerings. Tell them that Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we got to wrap up this contest and wrap up this week. Defo's got races to bet on. I've got places to be. There's poker tournaments tonight I'm going to be taking part in.
Nice.
We got going for the weekend. Cleaning your pool.
Actually, I do need to.
Out his car and cleaning the
It's my
and choking on his corn.
my
beef.
grandmother-in-law's 75th birthday, so we're gonna go out with Shirley and her family for dinner.
Where?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
Her family doesn't plan well. They just we're doing something.
You should go to
Okay.
Joe. I haven't been to
I
Cafe
actually haven't.
Seville.
That's actually not the worst idea.
That's,
I'll talk to them.
I know a guy. I could
I
get you set
you
up
may
there.
have to pull a Mayo for me.
I don't think anybody is Cafe Seville dissatisfied. They love it.
It's amazing.
That's it. All right.
From everything you guys
Contest.
have
Let's wrap it up. It's an Irish bar that's gone. Irish restaurant, really, in Fort Lauderdale. Used to be on North Andrews Avenue. And let me give you the clues. The pub's name included. Well, we got time here. Lubie.
we
Just pumping you out. Let's go.
This is the important business of
I
the week,
know.
gentlemen. If
yeah,
you've
yeah.
got to go,
Do
don't
the
let me keep you. I could finish up by
Do the hint.
myself.
I'm here.
We
You're
might
good.
be here another half hour the way you're going.
Well, the pub's name included a reference to a historical site and number in Dublin, and it referred to the terrace at the Croke Park, which is also the principal stadium and headquarters of the Gaelic Athletic Association. And that historical site was also a scene of a tragedy on the first Bloody Sunday in Ireland in 1920. And speaking of tragedies, the restaurant that I'm referring to in Fort Lauderdale, it had many celebrations and happy occasions, but there was also a tragedy there. And July 3rd, 2014, there was a shootout in the parking lot that left one man dead and a detective wounded. And basically, the detective survived, and he was cleared in the shooting the death of the assailant, who basically witnesses say triggered the whole incident when he accosted his girlfriend that was a waitress at the establishment.
I would say known for its shepherd's pie probably was a better clue.
Oh, you know me. This is South Florida.
Anyway, we went into true crime here. I mean,
We did it with the remember
people you
the
wanna
Forge
reference?
had an interesting incident, and then this restaurant also has.
It was also known for its music. That would have been a better clue.
Music?
There was great music there all the time.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, many
I
great
always,
performers there.
I'm a former newsman. I sometimes like
Local
to.
guy David Shelley was there. My man Albert Castillo many times. So known for its music.
Okay, known for its music.
Yes, I went there. I think because I saw
Irish
music with
bands.
Defo.
In fact, Lubie caught me sitting in on a drunk there with Albert.
So I know I knew that
Yeah.
name.
Now that Defo has critiqued this week,
Oh yeah.
it knows the.
He started out saying I was being negative on the show. Then he's talking about like a double murder. In the
Well, it wasn't a double murder. One of us survived.
Oh, good.
The bottom line is, if
Bottom
you
line
know
is-
the restaurant name
Mike Mayo
and
eats
the
at
horse
gmail.com.
1 through 12 and tomorrow's feature steak, the 11th race, the Silks Run Steak,
11th race.
send it to Mike Mayo Eats at gmail.com. And next week, we will have a restaurant clue constructed and formulated by Jeff Defo.
Hey, his clues are good. But that one was a little
Clues
too
were
deep.
fine. It was just
All right, have a great weekend.
I went
everybody.
to the dark side
Yeah.
of the street. Until then, enjoy every platter of corned beef and cabbage and